Usually when a team has a chance to clinch the division of a conference and heck, win the conference itself, that team usually plays to win the game. That wasn't the case this Saturday. That was definitely not the case. And quite frankly, I don't know what the heck is going on. But let me just say this first and foremost. Congratulations to the Texas A&M Aggies, whose their team played like they actually gave a crap that night. 33-19, they whooped us. That's all to say. They whooped us at Kyle Field. And now Oklahoma has 2 losses. But this loss doesn't really make much sense to me, seeing as how Texas A&M was a team we really had no business of losing to. At least when we lost to Missouri, we could say that we lost to a respectable ranked team on the road. A&M was a team that we should have beaten by a touchdown or more, a team that we were favored to beat. But we didn't. And it all comes down to this. No execution whatsoever. I don't understand what's going on with this team right now, but it's like we're coming off some gigantic buzz, and now we're in the letdown period. Because when we fought and scrapped our way through that entire non-conference, beat Texas, then got a bye week, then came home and wailed on Iowa State, we strutted around the South Conference going, oh yeah, we're Oklahoma, we're back, last season was an anomaly, bring it on. And then Mizzou punched us in the face. After that happened, you would think the team would learn to understand. But no, Texas A&M used the exact same formula that Missouri did to beat us. First off, they did what Missouri did. They made Oklahoma one-dimensional by taking away the running game initially. And when that happened, all they had to do was break up the pass, which is what they did. And then with their running game, they punched it right up down the middle with Cyrus Gray. And it was an effective formula, and it did the job for them. And once they lulled us to sleep with that running game, then they go for the deep ball, which more often than not was caught. And that formula worked for Texas A&M, consistently down after down after down. And that worked. But Look, I know there are a lot of young players on this team. I understand that. There are plenty of players on this team. I mean, at least 13 true freshmen or redshirt freshmen that need to mature. But that excuse only goes so far. Because I know some of the receivers are young. Some of the corners on the defense are young. Some units on the defense are young. I can understand that. But the defense, God bless them, kept us in this game as long as they could. This was a complete and total offensive failure in the first half. When the offense can't score a point in the entire first half of a game and give the defense a break, this is exactly what's going to happen. You're going to lose because the defense isn't going to keep you in the game forever. Eventually, the other team is going to make a good play and score. Now, the defense did really well to keep us in the game in the first half, which is really great because the offense couldn't score 1 point in the first half. I mean, what is this? What happened? I mean, the youth doesn't even affect this because you have Landry Jones, a season under his belt. You've got Broyles, 2 seasons under his belt. You've got DeMarco Murray, 3 seasons under his belt. There are veterans on this offense that are not performing like veterans. It's like the commentator said, it's entirely a Jekyll and Hyde thing because when we come home to Norman, we are Mr. Hyde. We get out that cane and we beat to death everyone who dares get on Owen Field. That's what we do in Norman. We play like Titans. We take that field with the mentality that we are going to dominate you from first second to last second, and we do. But then Dr. Jekyll comes out whenever we go on the road, and instead of Titans, I see a bunch of players who are actually nervous, who have lost their confidence, who have lost that center mentality, and sometimes perform like they don't even know how to play the game. Because Lord knows Dr. Jekyll probably never played a game of football in his life. It truly is completely bipolar, and I don't understand how that is because I am not a football player. I don't know what's going on, so I'm not going to rag too hard on him. But at the same time, is there really that much of a difference between home and away? Because this is such a drastic difference. Is there really that much of a difference? I fail to see how a change of stadium and a change of dynamic and a change of crowd affects any single one player's playmaking ability. I fail to see how that makes any one football player less in their abilities. I fail to see how that is. And Texas A&M did everything right where OU did wrong, because Texas A&M's veterans, Von Miller, offensive line never had an answer for him. Ryan Tannehill picked us apart, and Cyrus Gray carved us up like a Thanksgiving turkey. They don't even need Christine Michael for this game. They played like veterans. And for once, Texas A&M's growing team, young team growing up, showed their maturity in this game against an opponent who played like they didn't very well give a crap. And I'm just going to say that right now, because Sooners, after everything you did, even after losing to Missouri, come home and pasting Colorado at home, it looked like you had learned your lesson. But then you go on the road again and put another performance like this. Now, even with this loss, the only good thing from this loss is that it's still not over. But there's only one option left for OU, and that's to win out. And I hate to say this, but the two teams that are in front of us right now are Baylor and Oklahoma State. And guess where we play those two teams? On the road. And right now, I'm just going to flat out say this. If this Oklahoma team performs like they do now, we will lose to Baylor and Waco. We will lose to Oklahoma State and Stillwater, unless something drastic happens. These players need to understand that the journey is not, in fact, over. And even if we don't make it to the Big 12 championship, we can still say at the end of all things that we have the most championships, but at the same time, you want to be in that last one. This is a statement about Oklahoma's football program that they can get right back in it after a horrible year like last year. But if they don't change anything, that's 2 more losses to Baylor and Oklahoma State. Cotton Bowl, maybe. And after this game, Sooner fans, the national championship was over 2 weeks ago when we lost to Missouri, because, I'm sorry, Oregon playing infinitely better than us. Auburn playing infinitely better than us. TCU playing infinitely better than us. Boise State doesn't even deserve to be up there. But all of the teams in the top 10 currently, with the exception of Boise State, because they play in a crap conference, of course they're going to blow everyone out. With the exception of Boise State, well, heck, even Boise State is playing better than Oklahoma in destroying those teams right now. I will be the first to say, we'll drop out of the top 10. We'll drop out of the top 15. Heck, if we stay in the top 20, you will find one Sooner fan who's grateful. And I am very cheesed off right now, as you can see. Because we play like an unranked team on that field. No, wait, scratch that, because even an unranked team can score points in an entire half of college football. I don't care that we ran off 17 unanswered points in the third quarter. We should have done that in the first quarter. We did put together a nice drive, but by the end it was too little too late, and we can see that Bob Stoops is trying to pull out some trick plays to win the game, which he tried to do with the fake field goal. But then again, you have to have players who have the mentality to play. And in that case, wide open in the end zone, dropped it. If he just made that catch, would have completely changed the game. Heck, a field goal would have completely changed the game, because it would have at least put us up by 1 or 2. That's just the way it is right now, guys. This Sooners team has got to change their mentality. I don't understand what it is. But welcome to the Big 12 Twilight Zone, where teams like Baylor and Texas A&M beat teams like Texas and Oklahoma. It seems that for the last year of the Big 12 championship, a lot of other teams are rising up, like Baylor, like Oklahoma State. Texas A&M, yeah, you beat us, but you need to show more if you're going to rise up like that. And Iowa State even came within 1 point of beating Nebraska. So even with the departure of Colorado and Nebraska, it seems like the teams in this conference are really rising to the occasion and will still be a competitive league, which I guess is, of course, good for league play, but I only care about my team. So this is where we stand right now. Sooners went out. They're in the championship game, because then they will have beaten head-to-head both the teams that are ahead of them. But one more loss, and it's done. It's over. Bye-bye last Big 12 championship. So, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I am going to say it's not looking good. It's not looking good. So, Sooners, show's not over yet, but your back's against the wall with one punch away from elimination. My question to you is, what are you going to do about it? Congratulations, Texas A&M. I'm Sooner Son 2. Y'all have a good day.